there's a little bit of spite there when you think about him. Plus, I'm a Messi fan. So it's a difficult one when you start thinking about your loyalties to a club. But actually, when you look at what you're getting, the player that you're getting, I think we've missed a player like this since Dzeko left the football club. He's got an aerial threat. His link-up play is good. He's got a physical presence, and he does what's important. He gets in the office and gets the business done. When you look at Manchester United, Ronaldo, you've got a young lad who's a winger. He can take players on. He's got a little trick. He wows the crowd. That's not Cristiano anymore. He is a killing machine. He just gets in the office and gets business done. He's so clinical. So there's a lot of reasons why any Man City fan should be excited about this, because this is exactly what we've been looking for. A number 9 who does a job of a number 9. And Ronaldo still does that job great. I followed him. I did a few games on Colcoms in the Euros on Portugal, and he still had it. You know, his urgency to get into the box, his movement when he was in the box, and how clinical he was. So I think it works for me. It works for Manchester City. I don't know whether a 2-year deal starts playing with a different deal that could be further down the line, but maybe New York City could come into play then.
That's a good point, actually, isn't it? You know, thinking of the Manchester City group as an overall sort of entity, maybe that's one of the reasons why they're trying to get him involved. Do you think it's right, though, for a Manchester United player, a former Manchester United player of such standing, someone who's won the Champions League at that club, to end up wearing the light blue of Manchester City? You remember the animosity with the Tevez stuff, the welcome to Manchester stuff. It's not going to sit very well, is it?
No, there's a massive divide. I think there'll be certain fans who will say, yeah, well, he's a different player, he's old now, you can have him. We had him when he was at his best. But there'll be also fans that are so loyal to him and will love him for what he's done for the club that will turn their back on him. I think they'll be fuming about this move. You know, they'll say bridges are being burned if he goes to Manchester City. For me, he's not a Giggsy, he's not a Scholesy, is he? A Manchester lad who's come through the ranks, who's lived in the area. I think Scholesy was from near Broughton, and the local lads brought up loving the football club, and then while they're still doing bits, going to Manchester City. I don't think it would be received in the same way as one of them two going. But if you look at Ronaldo, he's a foreign boy anyway. He's from Portugal. He's done the business at Old Trafford. He's left. He's done even better at Real Madrid. So I think because of the clubs that he's played for, I don't think the impact's going to be as bad.
How would you feel, Trev, as a Manchester City fan, if Aguero went to Manchester United?
Yeah, I'd be fuming.
But it's a little bit more.
I know, it is.
I think Aguero longevity at Man City probably will go down a little bit more than Ronaldo. But you will still be fuming, wouldn't you?
I think you'd have a little bit of a swallow and a bitter taste in your mouth for sure. But it's different again because Aguero's not going to go and have 10 years at Barcelona and then go to Manchester United, because obviously it's happening in different time of their careers. But yeah, I think it would affect you, and you'd look at it and you think, oh, I'm gutted about that, because he's one of your favourite players, kind of thing.
What do you make about the strategy of Manchester City? You made a big play about this, and they've made a big play about signing younger players and developing them for the future and not spending huge money on just old superstars. He is an old superstar, and this is going to cost them a hell of a lot of money. Is this the right thing to do?
I think when you look at it in that way, Sam, I'd rather see Manchester City go for younger players, and you've got Liam Delap there, giving him opportunities. And maybe this might be a chance for Liam Delap to get into the squad and get some games, because I think if you bring in someone in like Cristiano, you know that he can't play 38 Premier League games and play all the Europe games and play the Cup games. It's just an impossibility, even the physical condition that he's in. But what I think it does do, it gives opportunities for game time for younger players, whether that's going to be Jesus getting game time, whether that's going to be Torres coming in off the wing and playing up there, or whether that's going to be Liam Delap getting these opportunities. I hope it does. But it does go against the principles that Manchester City hold, I feel. I think the fact that Pep's come out and said he's got 2 years to go and then he's leaving, looks like he's going to take, the Spanish job. He wants to go into international football. So he's got 2 years to do the only thing that he's not managed to do at Manchester City, and that's win the Champions League. I think this could go a long way in helping them get over the line with that, because I think it's that kind of signing. If you think about big game players, he's probably in the top 5 players in the world at the moment that you would mention, because he is that instrumental and he has won that many trophies. So I think out of all the number 9s available, if he does become available, even though it's going to cost a few quid, not so much on transfer fee, but on wages, I think it's worth taking.
Well, I think globally as well, Trev. I mean, Man City are growing as a club around the world, and if you sign someone like Ronaldo, this following he's got.
Yeah.
It's great publicity for the club itself as well.
Yeah, I think there was a figure I was reading. I think it was 7 days after Messi went to PSG. He sold I'm talking tens and tens of millions of pounds worth of shirts. Now, I know he's on a few quid a week himself, but the fact that he's bringing that kind of commercial value, I think Ronaldo's exactly the same, possibly even bigger, because, the companies that he's been involved with. And I think when you look at his followings, social media followings, is he the most followed man in the world?
I think he's up there, yeah.
He's 100 behind Sam, I think.
Sam Ellard.
Yeah, Sam Ellard.
Yeah, that is in itself, the coverage and the worldwide audience increase that Manchester City are going to dictate if they bring in Ronaldo. He's there for everyone to see.
Trevor, I want to ask you about the relationship with Ronaldo and Guardiola, because Guardiola had some problems with Zlatan Ibrahimovic when they were at Barcelona. A couple of big players at that club, Henry was another one, fell out with him. Aguero's had his problems with Guardiola as well over the course of the last couple of seasons. They had to end up having a meeting in a tapas restaurant in Manchester to sort that out. Do you think that he's going to fit into what Guardiola wants? Can you see there being some fireworks between these two?
I think if they have a grown-up conversation before he goes in and Ronaldo realises there's only one boss at Manchester City, I don't think we've got a problem, because I think Ronaldo will just have to suck eggs and do as he's told. I think if they don't have that conversation, Ronaldo signs, and then there starts to be a little bit of a personality clash, I think we could have problems, because they're both obviously huge personalities. They both won everything in their respective jobs, and obviously when he was a player, Pep won everything as a player. But I think you've got to understand who the boss is, and he's got a certain way of doing things, and he's very strict with those ways, whether it's in possession, out of possession. And I think if Ronaldo understands all that before he signs, then
it's
he knows
Ronaldo, though, isn't it? Let's be completely honest. In 2016, standing on the sideline, who was the boss, Fernando Santos or the injured Ronaldo in that championship final?
Yeah, but he couldn't play, so he might as well manage. And I actually think he inspired his teammates that day from the technical area.
Is he going to be like that if he's at Manchester City, though? Because Pep's not going to be having it, is he?
Yeah, I'd like to see that explosion, because that could be a real chemistry that, if it goes well, it could be frightening. But if it goes badly, that could be fireworks.
But
so
you can understand he wants to be the big man. He wants to be the big personality, whatever dressing room he's in.
Listen, Pep will make him know before he signs there's only one boss. And if Ronaldo doesn't want to buy into that, don't sign for the football club. It's as simple as that.
So we talked to Ray earlier on, and we asked him whether or not he would ever consider going to Spurs. He gave us a resounding...
Computer says no.
Would you have gone from Manchester City to Manchester United at the end of your career?
Absolutely not. Because
remember how good they were, though, Manchester United.
Because I wasn't good enough. I wouldn't have wanted to go there and get splinters in my backside sitting on the bench. I played for Manchester United when I was 10 in the under-10s. Ron Atkinson was a manager. He sent me a letter inviting me back to do a second year. And not because I didn't want to be at Manchester United, because I had a really difficult year with their School of Excellence. I was training 3 times a week. There was a lot of good players around, and I didn't feel, for me, I developed as a kid. I didn't think I was improving. I was beating myself up because there were so many good players, and I went to Oldham as a big fish in a small pond, and then started to thrive. So for me, it wasn't the right move. Whether I'd go after Man City, no, I wouldn't have. I was happy. Once I'd finished with Manchester City, I went to Cardiff for a year, but I was happy with with my lot in football, and my knee was screaming to me to retire.
Trev, what happens if your boy gets picked up by Manchester United? What are you going to say as a dad?
It's not a problem. Listen, my rivalries, I was brought up in Manchester, so it was in me. My boys have lived in Dubai, Cardiff, part in Manchester, and Lytham. So they've not got any loyalties and that kind of rivalry that I had when I was a kid.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.